Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Let's get started. Today we've got the Arturia Microfreak once again. We are going to continue our exploration of this awesome little synth. Today I thought we would kind of take a look at the cycling envelope and what it can do. Also, sorry if my voice is a little out of shape. I live in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, actually right in Oregon, where all these crazy fires have been. And out my window right now is just nothing but smoke. And it has not been kind to my throat and lungs. So sorry if there's any like unbearable throat clears or anything like that. Yeah, it's not too good outside right now. My girlfriend and I actually last night were starting to prep just in case they evacuated us, which luckily didn't happen. Looks like the wind has changed and things have died down. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. The past couple nights we lost power for about half a day and whatnot, but hopefully things are coming back to normal. Anyway, let's get working on the cycling envelope. So the Microfreak actually has two envelopes. We have a standard envelope, which by default is set to just modulate the amplification of your sound. So attack, decay and release on one knob. And you can see the shape of the envelope up there too. And then sustain. So it's a pretty standard envelope. You also have a knob right here that actually controls the envelope being sent to the filter cutoff, and you can also control that on the patch bay there. I typically don't use that, I just like to use the patch bay. But what's cool about this envelope is you can actually press the amplification modulation button, and it actually unties it from being attached to the amp mod. So now you can use the patch bay here to send the envelope to control anything on the Microfreak, which is really cool. A lot of times I'll just leave it on the amp mod though, because I like to have the ability to change my attack and decay and release and sustain. But yeah, it's really cool. You can send it to pitch or filter cutoff or any knob you'd like. And then we get the cycling envelope, which is a little bit different. So via the patch bay, we can assign the cycling envelope to anything on the Microfreak, anything we'd like. And we can actually run the cycling envelope in 3 different modes, and that's what makes it so powerful. So mode 1 is just envelope. That means it's a standard envelope. We have rise, fall, hold, and amount, or A, DNR, S, and then the amount of the envelope applied. So let's go ahead and demo this here with, let's send it to pitch. So I'm going to go cycling envelope and pitch. We'll set it to 25 here. You can hear it's already doing its thing. So first we can decide how much of the envelope actually affects the pitch. For the sake of this video, I'll keep it at 100. So right now we have the envelope in standard mode. So of course this is our rise, this is our fall. What's cool is it actually tells you on there. So for instance, I don't know if you can see, but it says the fall time is 3 seconds, 2.6 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 or 6.2. You can go anywhere from 0 milliseconds to 10 seconds. Same with the rise knob as well. And then the sustain knob is shown in percentage. Very, very cool. And of course, because it's just in standard envelope mode, it happens once. And every time it receives a new trigger from the keys, it will just run through the envelope again. Doesn't matter if you're in monophonic or paraphonic mode. Very, very cool. And you can actually get some more advanced shaping of your wave if you'd like. And the way we do that is by holding the shift button. Now the first 2 keys control the shape of the rise and the shape of the fall. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's extend our rise time. Now we'll hold shift. Now we can either make it a linear curve or a logarithmic curve, which is really, really cool. We can do the same with the fall. So you can get basically whatever wave shape you want in there. It's pretty neat. I'm a big fan of that. And I mean, they fit so much in here, so it's just really cool to see they thought of everything. You can get exactly the envelope shape that you want. It's so cool, so cool. The next mode is called Run, and now this is where we can start to use the cycling envelope as an LFO. So I don't know if you saw, but when I pressed Run, we now have multiples. See what that does? It basically repeats infinitely as long as you hold the key. So when looking at Run mode, we also need to compare it to the last mode, which is Loop. If you've got a Korg Volca, you can think of Run mode as using the LFO with trigger sync off, and Loop mode as using the trigger sync on. So in Run mode, the envelope doesn't care if we hit another key or press the same key again. It's always going to pick up exactly where it left off. So an easy way to demonstrate this is to turn our decay down, actually. And we're going to make the rise and fall quite a bit longer. So, you can see, doesn't matter if I release and then press a key again, the envelope stays exactly where it was and continues on its path. Now if we go to Loop mode, the envelope resets every time I press a key. Let's shorten that. Even if we're in paraphonic mode. Pretty cool. So because of this, we can get all sorts of different varieties of sounds. You can imagine how powerful this is, being able to basically send the cycling envelope to any parameter knob here on the Microfreak. And that's of course in addition to our standard envelope, which does not always have to be tied to the amplification of our sound. We can tie it to anything on the patch bay. Now where things get really fun is when you realize that each of these individual knobs can be a destination on the patch bay. So for instance, we could assign user slot 1 here on the patch bay to the fall knob of the cycling envelope. Now, let's go ahead and send the LFO to control assign 1. Let's just max it out at 100. So now that we have an LFO controlling the fall knob, we can set the LFO to like random. Now depending on the rate of our LFO, we get different kinds of basically random fall times. So you can get some really cool stuff like that. And of course, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm a novice, a noob, if you will, to basically all of this stuff. So these are just like the basic things that I've been able to discern. And I'm going to save this really quick, even though it's trash. 232. And these are all things that I've learned just from breaking down patches. I really recommend going to preset number 1, Disrespectful, and taking a look at all of the different connections in the patch bay And what's really cool is you can go in and remove anything that you want and listen to it without it. So let's get rid of the envelope controlling the cutoff here. Just hold the button down there. Interesting. Now what if we get rid of the LFO controlling assign 1? And now if we hold the assign 1 button, we can see assign 1 is set to fall time right there. So let's get rid of that. Assign 2 is parameter 3, which is the feedback. So let's get rid of the LFO controlling that. And you can deconstruct patches backward and kind of learn how the Microfreak works. Now, as long as you don't hit the save button, if you move away from the preset that you were on and then go back to it, all of those connections are back. So there is quite a bit you can do and quite a bit you can learn with this. This video really wound up being more me just kind of explaining my process of how I kind of play with the cycling envelope and experimenting with different things, routing different parameters and modulation sources to different destinations, and really just finding out what this thing can do, because it is an almost endless well to dive in. That's a terrible analogy. No one should ever dive in a well. That's how kids get trapped down in wells. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you've got a Microfreak, go ahead and tell me what's your favorite way to use the cycling envelope. I'd love to get some new ideas. After I film this video, I'm basically just going to cruise on YouTube and watch other people play with their Microfreaks, so I can, that's another interesting thing to say as well, but so I can better understand this and learn more, and hopefully bring you guys some more useful content that you enjoy. So if you did enjoy this one, go ahead and leave a like on it. If not, you can leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.